Hello everyone. Today we talk about multiplication of integers. We have already seen that multiplication can also be represented as successive addition, which means if I talk about 5 into 3, 5 into 3 is also called as 5 times 3. Now 5 times 3 means I have to take the number 3 5 times. So I have to take number 3 5 times. What I get is 15, and that is same as 5 times 3. So we know that multiplication actually is successive addition. Now let's see if we can apply this definition of multiplication for integer multiplication. So let's take a positive integer 5 and let's take a negative integer minus 3. Now multiplication of 5 into minus 3 can also be called as 5 times minus 3. Now let's do 5 times minus 3. Now we'll solve this in our usual way. Minus 3 remains same. Now first let's rationalize the signs. Minus plus different signs always result into minus. So minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. Now if I go adding them from the left hand side, adding two numbers at a time, minus minus is going to be addition. So 3 plus 3 is 6 and it gets the sign of the bigger minus 6. The remaining comes down as it is. And if I go on doing this, I find that the final answer is minus 15. So 5 times minus 3 is equal to minus 15. So if 5 times minus 3 is equal to minus 15, and we see that 5 times 3 is equal to 15. So if you see here, in the first case, where in case of integers, this is the case of integers, and this one is the case of whole numbers. So in case of integers, if we multiply the weights, so what is the weight of 5? Weight of 5 is 5. Weight of minus 3, weight of minus 3 is 3. So we are only talking about weight. So right now I am trying to do this. Weight of 5 is 5, weight of minus 3 is 3. And if I multiply the weights, I get answer 15. Now the sign of 5 here is plus and sign of 5 here is minus. So if I use the signs, and if you remember our chart, plus, minus, different signs result into minus. Minus plus results into minus. Plus plus results into plus, and minus minus results into plus. Now we have signs plus and minus, different sign. So if you take it here, they are going to result into a minus sign. So 5 into minus 3 becomes minus 15. So in short, we can say that in multiplication of integers, we multiply weights of the integer. Weights of integers. And apply the sign based on our resultant sign chart. And what is that resultant sign chart? Different is minus and same is plus. So we know 5 into minus 3 is equal to minus 50. Now let's do 4 into minus 3. Now in this case, again, if I multiply the weights are, multiplication of weights is 12, and plus and minus different sign results into minus. And what is 0 into minus 3? 0 into any number is 0. Let's observe here. What I'm doing is this multiplier is every time I'm reducing it by 1. So I'm doing minus 1 every time. Correct? And if you look at the answer, minus 15, if I do plus 3, minus 15 plus 3, I get minus 12. Minus 12 plus 3, I get minus 9. Okay, so what's happening is here on the multiplication side, if I'm reducing it by 1, here the result is getting added by plus 3. If I reduce this from 0 to minus 1, 0 to minus 1, the answer should become 3. Now let's go one step further. So minus 2 into minus 3, 3 plus 3, I will become 6. So now we can see here that a negative integer minus 1 multiplied by another negative integer minus 3 gives answer as a positive integer. Negative integer minus 2 multiplied by negative integer minus 3 gives answer as positive integer plus 6. Now again, this firms our statement earlier that what we do in multiplication of integers is multiply the weights. So weight here is 1, weight here is 3. Multiply weight 1 into 3 is 3. And then we use the chart. So using the chart, we find the sign. So here minus, minus, the same sign always results into plus, positive. And that's how we are getting positive sign here. So we have seen that multiplication of integers also is a successive addition. And when we multiply integers, we multiply the weights, and for the signs, we follow our usual chart. Now let's see some additional patterns in multiplication of integers. So let's multiply minus 3 multiplied by minus 2 multiplied by minus 4. Now, as we know, when we have more than two numbers and we have the same operation, in this case, both places we have multiplication, then we have to start from left. So what we are going to do is, we are going to multiply the left hand side number. Minus 3 into minus 2, we have to multiply the weights. 3 into 2 is 6. Now minus, minus, same sign always results into positive sign. So plus 6. And the remaining number comes down as it is. So now we have plus 6 multiplied by minus 4. Now in this case, what we are going to do is, again we are going to multiply the weights. So 6 into 4 is 24. Now signs, if you see here is plus and here is minus. So different sign results into negative sign, minus. So the answer of minus 3 into minus 2 into minus 4 is minus 24. Now let's see one more example. Let's say minus 4 multiplied by minus 5 multiplied by minus 2. Again, that will first will multiply the left hand side two numbers, that is these two numbers will multiply. So what we get is 5 into 4, 20. Multiplying the weights, we get answer 20. Signs minus minus, same signs result into plus multiplied by minus 2. And again, here we are going to multiply the weights, which are 2 and 20. So the weights multiplied gives answer 40. Signs here is plus and minus. Different signs result into minus. Here what we have seen is that we are multiplying three negative numbers. We are getting answer as minus. So multiply two negative numbers, minus 13 multiplied by minus 5. What do we get? 13 multiplied by 5, the weights multiplication gives 65, and minus minus same signs means we get resultant sign as plus. So let me write here, when we multiply two negative integers, the sign of the answer is positive. When we multiply three negative integers, the sign of the answer is negative. Now let's try to multiply four integers. Let's try to multiply four integers. So maybe minus 10 multiplied by minus 3 multiplied by minus 1 multiplied by minus 5. So I'm multiplying four integers. So as we know, all the operations are same. So we start from the left side. We start. So multiplying the weights 10 and 3, I get answer 30. Same signs, minus and minus, same signs result into positive sign. Multiplied by minus 1 multiplied by minus 5. Now this time the left hand side pair we are going to use this. So multiplying the weights, we get 30 into 1, 30. Signs 1 plus 1 minus, different signs result into minus. Minus 30 multiplied by minus 5. Multiplying the weights here now, final 30 into 5 is 150. And the sign is minus and minus. Minus and minus sign, same sign results into positive sign, plus 150. So now we observe that if I take four negative integers, if I multiply four negative integers, I'm getting sign positive. So if I go on doing, I'll find that if I multiply 5, get sign as minus, multiply 6 integers, get sign as plus, 7 minus, 8 plus. So it keeps on changing. And the pattern here is, if I have the even number of negative numbers, I get positive sign. The result gets positive sign. And when I have odd number of negative multipliers, I get negative sign for the answer. So whenever we have multiplication of integers, what we do is we just multiply the weights. So step 1 is just multiply the weights. And in step 2, we want to know the sign of the integers. For sign of the integers, what you do is count the negative integers. Now, if the negative integers are even, then answer gets positive sign. If the negative integers are odd, answer gets negative sign. So if n is a natural number, what values n can have? N can be equal to 1 or it can be equal to 2, or it can be equal to 3, or it can be equal to 4, and so on. So we know n cannot be equal to 0 and n cannot be equal to negative number because n is natural number. Now if n is equal to 1, if n is equal to 1, then what is 2n equal to? So if n is equal to 1, 2n is equal to 2. If n is equal to 2, 2n is equal to 4. If n is equal to 3, 2n is equal to 6. If n is equal to 4, 2n is equal to 8, and so on. Now if you observe here, 2n is always an even number. 2n is always even number. So if I multiply minus 2n number of times, 2n number of times, which means what it means? It means that even number of times. Even number of times. So what happens if I multiply minus to even number of times? What would be the sign of it? I'm not interested in the weight of it. If it is multiplied negative numbers even number of times, we have seen the answer would get positive sign. Positive sign. And this is what we saw just in our last topic. The second one they are asking is, what happens if we multiply minus to 2n plus 1? So if n is equal to 1, 2, let's take these cases 3, 4, 5, and so on. Then 2n is equal to n plus 1. For n is equal to 1, 2n is 2, 2 plus 1, 3. So 2n plus 1 becomes 3. For n is equal to 2, 2n is 4 plus 1, 5. Why? Because 2 into 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2 into 1 is 2 plus 1, 3. 2 into 2 plus 1, that is equal to 2 into 2, 2 into 2, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. 2n, so 2 into 3 plus 1. 2 into 3, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. Now if you see here, all these three are odd numbers. So if we multiply minus to odd number of times, what are we are going to get? The answer will get a negative sign. Understood? Okay, so let's solve a few examples from your textbook, exercise 1.3. So we'll solve two sums from the example 1 there. Find each of the following products. So let's solve the minus 12 multiplied by minus 11 multiplied by 10. So as we know, what we need to do is we need to start solving from the left because we have the same operation. So we'll first solve these two numbers. Now here 12 into 11 is 132. So we'll just multiply the weight. And now the sign. Here it is a minus sign. Here also it is a minus sign. Two equal signs. Equal signs always result into plus. So plus 132 into, we all have 10 as it is. Now here again 132 and 10 we multiply, 1320 is the answer. There's plus sign here also, no sign means plus sign. So plus plus same signs result into again positive. So our final answer is going to be 1320. We can check sign of our answer. How many negative integers are there in this complete sum? We have two negative integers, means even number of negative integers. That means our answer has to be positive, and we have got it correct. Minus 18 multiplied by minus 5 multiplied by minus 4. So again, now we see that there are three negative numbers here. So our answer has to be a negative answer. So let's see the first two. First, let's take the first two and multiply them. So multiplication of their weights, 18 fives are 90. So we get 90 as the answer. Two negative integers, negative, negative, same sign results into positive. So I get plus 90 multiplied by minus 4. 90 multiplied by minus 4. 4 zeros are 0, 4 nines are 36. So 360 is the multiplication of their weights. Now sign, one is positive, one is negative. Different signs means the resultant sign is always minus. And now we see that our answer is a negative answer, which is correct because we have three negative numbers to be multiplied, and 3 being odd, the answer should have a negative sign. Minus 1 into one integer is equal to minus 22. Now, what is this integer? Now we know that the answer is minus a, so we know that minus 1 into a is equal to minus a. So if it is minus 22, if minus a is minus 22, what is a? A has to be plus 22. Opposite sign of that. Same way, if we want to know what is this number, if the answer is equal to 37. So minus a is 37, minus a is 37. So what would be a? The same weight, but different sign, minus 37. So the additive inverse of 37. Let's solve a few word problems here. So we'll solve example 6. A certain freezing process requires that room temperature be lowered from 40 degrees centigrade at the rate of 5 degrees centigrade every hour. What will be the room temperature 10 hours after the process begins? Okay, so what are the givens? Given is current room temperature is equal to 40 degrees centigrade. Now, rate of reduction of temperature. Rate of reduction of temperature is equal to 5 degrees centigrade per hour. Okay, now because it is a rate of reduction, we are going to use minus sign because it is reducing. If it is increasing, we would have used plus sign. Because it is reducing, we are using minus sign. So temperature is reducing at minus 5 degrees. So it is reducing at 5 degrees per hour, means it is minus 5 degrees every time it's happening. Now, after 10 hours, so in 10 hours, temperature reduction would be is equal to 10 multiplied by minus 5. I am not taking the measurement units in my intermediate steps. I will be bringing them back when I have the final answer. So 10 into minus 5, you multiply them. 10 into minus 5, you multiply the weights, 10 and 5, 50. How many negative numbers you have? You have only one negative number, that is odd number of negative numbers. So you get minus sign. So the temperature reduction in 10 hours is 50 degree, minus 50 degrees centigrade. Now, what is the final temperature? Therefore, final temperature after 10 hours is equal to the current temperature, which is 40 degree, plus the reduction, which is minus 50 degrees. Okay, so that is going to be 40, 50. First, we'll do rationalization of signs. Plus minus consecutive signs. Different signs result always into negative. So 40 minus 50. That is equal to, now here it is plus and minus, different signs. So it is going to be subtraction. So let's do the subtraction in our rough area. 50 minus 40 is equal to 10. So the answer is 10, and answer gets sign of greater number. So what is the greater number here? 50. What is the answer? Sign of 50? Minus. So the answer get minus. So the final answer is, final temperature is going to be minus 10 degrees centigrade. So you can write the statement like finally as the temperature after 10 hours would be minus 10 degrees Celsius. In a class test containing 10 questions, 5 marks are awarded for every correct answer and minus 2 marks are awarded for every incorrect answer, and 0 marks are awarded for questions not attempted. So let's find how much Mohan, Reshma and Hina get. So let's write the givens first. The givens are total questions is equal to 10. Okay, then marks for correct answer is equal to plus 5. Marks for incorrect answer minus 2, and marks for unattempted question is equal to 0. So this is what is given. Now let's talk about Mohan. Mohan gets 4 correct answers. Mohan gets 4 correct answers. Therefore, marks for correct answers are equal to 4 into plus 5, because we get 4 correct answer, and for every correct answer we get 5 marks, plus 5 marks. So now here we will multiply the weights. 4 into 5 is 20, and give the answer here plus sign, here also plus sign, 2 positive signs. So answer is gets a positive sign, so plus 20 marks. Now next one, it tells us Mohan gets 6 incorrect answers. So therefore, marks for incorrect answers are equal to 6 multiplied by minus 2, because we get minus 2 marks for each incorrect answer. Now here we'll multiply the weight. 6 into 2 is 12, and then to find sign, this is plus and this is minus, different signs will always result into minus. So Mohan gets minus 12 marks for the incorrect answers. Therefore, total marks for Mohan are equal to plus 20 plus minus 12. We'll rationalize the sign. We get plus 20 plus minus, different signs result into minus 12. Plus and minus means subtraction. So we'll do the subtraction in a rough work. 20 minus 12 is equal to 8. So the answer is 8, and answer gets the sign of greater number. So in this case, greater number is 20. So sign of 20 is plus. So answer gets plus. So how many marks Mohan gets? Mohan gets 8 marks. So we need to write that statement. I'm not writing it here because I don't have space, but you can write that Mohan gets 8 marks. A cement company makes profit of rupees 8 per white bag sold, while it makes a loss of rupees 5 per gray bag sold. So our givens are, it makes a profit of profit per white bag sold is equal to rupees 8, and loss per gray bag sold is equal to rupees 5. Now in our example, what we are going to take is, we are going to use profit or loss, and we'll represent signs, plus sign for profit and minus sign for loss. So it will become plus 8 and plus minus 5. So the bags, the white bags sold, or the number of white bags sold, is equal to 3000, and number of gray bags sold is equal to 5000. So total profit slash loss is equal to profit slash loss from sale of white bags plus profit slash loss from sale of gray bags. So that is equal to, what is profit of or loss from white bags? That is total number of bags, which is 3000, multiply by the per bag profit, which is plus 8, plus for gray bags, it is total number of bags is 5000 multiplied by minus 5. Let's use big brackets around it for ease of understanding. So 3000 multiplied by plus 8, will multiply the weights. 3000 into 8 gives us 24,000. The sign is plus here, same sign gives positive sign. Plus 5000, 5 weights multiplied by gives us 25,000, and sign plus here, minus here, different sign means gives a minus sign. Now rationalizing the signs, we get 24,000 plus minus different signs results into minus 25,000. Plus and minus results into subtraction. So subtracting 24,000 from 25,000, we get 1,000, and we are doing the subtraction in rough work. So we get the answer back here 1000, and to the answer we have to give sign of the greater number, which is 25,000, and the sign is negative, so the answer gets negative. And negative sign to the answer indicates that it is a loss. Therefore, company makes a loss of rupees 1000. And because I'm using the word loss of, I'm not putting the sign minus sign here. Now here, what we have been given is the total profit and loss company is making is 0. They don't want to make any profit or any loss. And the second one is total gray bags sold is equal to 6,400. So if they're selling 6,400 gray bags, what is the profit and loss from sale of gray bags? That is equal to 6,400 multiplied by minus 5, because that is the per bag. So 6,400 into 5, when we do the multiplication of the weights, we get 32,000, and the sign here plus, here minus, different signs, so it gives minus sign here. So it makes that the company is making loss of minus 32,000 rupees. Loss of minus 32,000 rupees from sale of gray bags. But it doesn't want to make any loss. It wants to make the profit or loss 0. So how, if they are making minus 32,000 as a loss from gray bags, then the profit or loss from white bags, what they should make, that should be equal to total profit loss minus profit loss from gray bags. Because if we have the white bags and gray bags are giving us the total, then if we want to find the profit loss from white bags, then we have to deduct, we have to subtract the profit or loss from gray bags from the total profit and loss. So what is the total profit and loss? It is 0. And what is the profit loss from the gray bags? It is minus 32,000. Now rationalizing sign, we gave 0, minus minus, same signs gives us plus 32,000. So that is equal to total is 32,000. So company should make 32,000 profit from the white bags. So if they have to make this much of profit, so how many bags they need to sell? So number of bags company number of white bags, let me write it, okay, number of white bags company should sell is equal to, okay, the profit and loss, total profit and loss, what they expect from white bags, divided by per bag profit and loss, which is 8 rupees. Because total divided by per bag is going to give you the total number of bags. So 8 fours are 32, it gives me 4,000. So therefore, company must sell 4,000 white bags.